Hey everybody, this is Ozark Prepper 1. I figured I would make a video, show you how green things are getting. The canopy's starting to form. This is the time of year I like. It's actually around 50 degrees out here right now, Fahrenheit. But today's video, I think I'm going to title this one, The Secret of Secrets, and how things work. Okay, everybody does research online that are not a member of any kind of club, secret societies, or things like that. And they want the truth. They want to know what's going on and how it works. Well, it's actually in our face. It's simple. When you go to a job, you got that one guy that just rises to the top. You got that one local guy that was he could have been somebody in your school or and that guy rises to become a star politician. He becomes a representative or a mayor or something, and everything just is all happy. They'll create a Facebook page and they're always happy. Life is good. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're taking the kids here, we're having fun. And that's what their life consists of. Not because of them being having a harder work ethic than anyone else. It's who they know, and that's where that old phrase comes from. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and that's the truth. And I'll tell you the truth about all the clubs. They all have different methods of doing things, and they have a different ideologies, minorly. Like you take one club is more religious than the other, but they're all tentacles of the same club at the top. And that club at the top is not who you think it is. It's not, it's not your Jesuits. It's not your Masons. They're not the top of the food chain. Devil worshippers are. That's a fact. Because I know people in those other clubs, and they're good people. What they know, and I can't get any trouble for telling you this because I'm not a member and I don't know their techniques or whatever, but they just communicate different than we do. They don't speak with words, and they tell you this. They speak with signs and symbols. And a lot of them are good people. I'd say most of them are. Your bad ones are at the top. They're at the top because they get a choice when they reach a certain level. And the bad guys are waiting for them at the top. And they choose whether to stick with the bad guys or go their own way. Or remain where they're at. And the ones that decide to follow that at the top, well, that's their soul they got to deal with. But if you ever wonder why people around you, some seem to have no trouble getting what they need, that's why. There's diamonds in the rough out there. There are people out there that work hard and make success without any outside influence. But one should know this also. Clubs work two ways. They can either build you up or they can hold someone back if they wanted to. All it is word of mouth to the other guys, the other buddies. They got this one buddy that wants a certain job, but this other regular guy is going to get it because he's so good of a worker. But the old club brother needs a job. So they like throw something out in front of his feet and make him stumble. And then that guy gets the job. And you get fired. Or you get turned down. And you find yourself, if you find yourself as an enemy of those people, you might not get a bank loan. Which, why would anybody do that now? But you might not get a bank loan. You get turned down for a job that was readily available for anyone. That they're begging for help, but you showed up and they don't need you. Even though you can't seem to find anything wrong in your work history or your attitude or how you present yourself. That has nothing to do with it. They're making room for one of their buddies. That's not always the case. Don't jump to the gun and think that's just a tight-knit thing. It's nonstop everywhere, because that's not how it is. But it is in many places. And you'll find it more in less populated areas than majorly populated areas, because there's a fight for resources. There's not many jobs, and everybody wants that job. So who do you think gets them first? There's a lot of activity in the skies today. A lot of helicopters. But anyway, back to the story. That's the way things work. You ever notice those people seem to live a long time? It seems like they have access to what they need to stay healthy. And they have a lot less stress. The reason they have less stress is because they know that check's coming in. Anytime you're in that situation, you have less stress. You can just sit back and enjoy life and look at things. But then a regular guy that's working, he's got the pile of bills coming in. He didn't get the good job. He's got the crappy job. He's got that one nobody wanted. And, they tell you, do a good job and you'll move up. You'll get, if you just put in the effort, we'll do what we can. We'll move you right up the ladder. You can count on it. They always say that. And that never happens. And then they gaslight you when their buddy needs a way into your company that you work for. There's a guy that needs in there. He needs a job. So they got to figure out a way to get rid of you and be stealth about it. So what they do is they make you think you're going crazy. They make you think you're the problem. And if you're intelligent enough, you can just look around and assess it yourself. Make an assessment. Look at what you do. Look at how often you show up for work. Look at the quality of the work you do, the respect you give customers, how you treat your fellow employees. And if things don't add up on their end, and everything does add up on your end, like you're doing the right thing, but you're the problem in their eyes. Well, that's probably what's happening. That's not 100% what is happening, but there's a great possibility. It's a pretty deep story for today, huh? But the truth is, 99% of people don't know this. They don't know this stuff, and they don't believe it. A lot of them don't believe it. It's like, there's no way that people locally could be working against me. But the truth is, that's the way the world works, everywhere. Everywhere in this world, it works like that. You know, certain people are tapped because of their knowledge to move on further in life. But that's just so the others can ride their skirt tails and get a piece of the action themselves. I just found a bird egg, and it's been cracked open. Wow, let's take a look at this. Almost looks like a chicken egg inside. Maybe I should take it home and fry it up. Anyway, I figured I would take a nice stroll today since it's kind of cool and we're starting to get weeds in the road. That means we'll be having parasites crawling soon. But don't take what I said as gospel. Do the research yourself and look around with your own eyes. And if you notice it, take note of it and adjust your situation accordingly. It's sometimes you got to move away and make new friends because the old ones are already biased. They're not just biased towards their club. They're biased because you may have went to school together. They may have went to school with your dad or your mom, and they still hold a grudge against them, so they got to carry it out on your bloodline. And that happens too. So when you move away, you move away from that. But I guess it would suck if you move to another town and there's someone in that town that hates your last name because of someone else with your last name from that town. But that's not usually likely. But consider that. And with that being said, I'm going to get off of here. You all have a great rest of your week. Happy Monday. Ozark Prepper 1 out.